I know there was a topic that you particularly wanted to get into this week, so I'll let you go ahead and
Oh,
cue that up.
oh yeah. Earlier I was talking to my cousin, and he was saying to me, and this girl, he was saying that, why are black people always so quick and like trigger happy to cancel other black people, right? Or this cancel culture thing, right? So my question, I guess, is, do we believe in cancel culture? Why is this a thing? And just general thoughts about it, because you just seen what happened with Nick Cannon the other day, and
Mhm.
his show being canceled on MTV, and then I don't even know what he did to black people. I guess he apologized
It
for
wasn't to
what he
black people.
said. No, it was an
What did he do?
anti-Semitism
Yeah, why did he
thing,
apologize
right?
to black people?
Yeah, it was. He's
Listen,
apologized to the Jewish community.
so yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Jewish thing first, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he did to black people for black people to cancel him. I think he might have been like apologizing to Jewish people and black people canceling. I don't know.
Could someone
My
update
point
me on what
is,
happened? What did he do? I don't know what
So
happened.
Nick Cannon was on his podcast. He interviewed a professor. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm gonna definitely get it wrong. But he was basically interviewing a professor, and they were talking just different things, different conspiracy theories, and there were some of them that were anti-Semitic. Um,
and otherwise, he was
and yeah,
it was talking something about the how we could deal with more oppression than anybody else, and why some white people are aggressive and they can't deal
yes,
with
that was the other part.
outbursts
Yeah,
in
that's yeah.
other different ways. And I think he elaborated something about Jewish people. And I'm paraphrasing, but his show got canceled after that. His Wild 'N Out show,
Damn.
and
To be
then
fair, it just got dropped by Viacom and CBS, so it's not going to be on MTV. But
right,
he still
right,
has
right,
his show, The Masked Singer, which is on Fox.
right,
So
right.
what
So
is what he said worse than what like Deshaun Jackson did, or like was it? I mean, they're all
Similar
bad.
tone.
They're all bad, but like
no. So what I was trying to get into is, obviously it's wrong
yeah, no, it's wrong.
to have any anti-Semitism verbiage in your speech or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Same as it's wrong for other people to be racist in any shape or form, right? Now, it's Viacom dropped his show again, and I think Nick Cannon apologized. And then black people were mad about it. I think that's what happened.
I
And
think some black people are mad about him apologizing.
and then he,
In
they,
what sense are they mad though? I'm a little out of the loop.
I haven't seen some, but I think the anger was, we've experienced so much racism that and people have been able to make apologies and still keep their spaces, even though this is a different era, so not as much anymore, but in past. But he says something that's out of line and wrong, and apologizes for it. And I think I think a lot of people honestly were not, didn't disagree with what he was saying, even though it was anti-Semitic, that's a whole nother conversation. But but I think that they were, the whole impression was, oh, you're apologizing to keep and catering to their views to keep your job, and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, people have been supportive of him. I mean, black people have been supportive. Some black people not supportive because of the anti-Semitism, of course. So yeah, it's a real big debate topic, and that's why you brought it up, bro.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, if we're really trying to be deep about this, you're Jewish people. I'm just saying. I don't know what we are the Israelites. If you want to get deep about it, I don't know what people believe in. You know what I mean? You can look it up yourself. Black people are the lineage. So I don't. If you want to go build United Science guy, you want to go New Testament, Old Testament. I don't know where you want to go, but go look it up. So I just think it's some. And first of all, what's done is done, right? So like, for example, this goes not crazy. R. Kelly is a pedophile or whatever, right?
Where you going, bro? Where you going?
No. He is.
Yes,
He is.
yes.
Yes,
That's
he
been
is.
established.
That's a
we're
fact.
Yeah,
we're
where's that part? We're worried about what comes next.
Relax. That doesn't mean he's not a good singer, right?
Okay.
Are
Those
you
are
still
facts.
trying to listen to R. Kelly music?
No,
Knowing
I
what you know
don't.
about him?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
You could have went lighter like Chris Brown or something.
Nah, bro. It does like it doesn't matter where it was, right? Like he's
I
done
get
that.
your point.
He's done that already. That's my point. It's like, yo, you can't cancel what has been done. You cannot listen to it no more. You can't take his Grammys.
That's what they're trying to say though. Like obviously you're not gonna cancel.
They're
him.
trying to
It's
say
a
you don't want to
racist whole
pad his
footprint.
pockets anymore. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to pad.
But
He gets
yeah, if
money
you don't
off of
support him no
views.
more, that's fine. You know what I mean? And what you will find out, Brandon, is that they called me the defense attorney for one said Kanye West, and I'm
Collecting
sure
the stimulus.
this would get brought up in a second. So
Oh God.
just chill. Was
You
that's
haven't
what
slept.
they
You haven't slept though in the last 2 days. Then you know.
Nah, I've been sleeping well.
Because them good music checks been cashing. That's why I always tell it.
Yeah.
The good music checks always cash.
Let's go, Brandon.
To go before we get on to the Kanye thing. In terms of cancel culture, do I think Nick Cannon should have been canceled? I have to educate myself more on it. Like I obviously heard what was going on and stuff like that, and I saw a lot of people saying like, well, what he said was anti-Semitic. A lot of those people weren't Jewish, and to that, I want to say that you don't have the right to tell Jewish people what's anti-Semitic, the same way that other races don't have the right to tell us what isn't racist. So that's all from what I have been educated on and can speak in an educated fashion on so far of what's going on. I need to go back and re-educate myself and catch up on it. A lot has happened in these past few weeks. So I've been falling behind on some stories. I mean, I get the general gist of what was going on, but to speak at length of it. But do I think cancel culture is needed? At times, yes, because people do need to be held accountable for the things that they say, especially when you have large platforms. However, I think that it can get brought too far a lot of the times. Because if someone makes a mistake, at the same time, you need to be able to teach that person so they can learn from their mistakes. You can't just eventually push everybody off to the side who has made a mistake and put them in some, undesirable category, because that doesn't change anything. If anything, it's just going to make them, they're all going to get there, and it's going to be one big echo chamber of like, oh, you got canceled? You got canceled? All right, well, fuck all of them. Like, that's my personal thought. Do I have the answers? Absolutely not. That I'm just one man speculating on what may happen at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
what's it called?
Go ahead,
Joe.
Yeah, no. So Brandon, I was staying on topic of, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear.
All right. My internet's a little bad, so you guys are freezing here and there. But so on topic of cancel culture, right? In terms and obviously, like we've talked about, like the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff. My big thing is it's kind of the age that we're living in. Like the media is kind of like advertising us canceling people, especially because again, as you can see, I'm not black, but I do, and obviously I do know people that aren't black and stuff. I do have a lot of friends that are black and stuff, and there's people that have certain views on the protests and people that have certain views on certain protests that turn into riots, or certain protests that in my eyes don't really relay the message as well as those that are peaceful, which are 98% of the protests, and the 2% coming from a family that has a dad as a cop and knows other cops. Like, they talk about how the protests that are turning into riots and violent are coming from people that are taking advantage of those that are trying to send a peaceful message. But for people that are posting on social media talking about being very pro cop, but to the point of not understanding Black Lives Matter as a movement and other stuff like that. And I've seen people screenshot arguments about them being canceled and stuff like that. So do you have an opinion on for me, it's I don't really cancel anybody. And again, I'm not that educated on a lot of things, but maybe give them a second or time to get themselves educated or have instead of canceling them and start arguing with them, try to make them understand why certain things are happening nowadays. And like obviously if they still don't understand it after that, fully cancel them. Like it's fine. Like they're not understanding the message. Just that's something that's their own problem. Like what do you think on that? Do you think that you give someone like 3 strikes, like stuff like you don't understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, and it's a complex question. And because in one respect, so one thing I made a status one time, and I was like, because there was this like thing going around. It was like this algorithm or something, and once you posted the status, it showed all your followers that liked the Donald Trump page. And I was just trying to make a point, and I was saying, well, because people were posting it, everyone was like saying we're deleting, and they were like saying who's next, and like we're deleting everybody. And my thing is, I'm more of a person that says, no, we're not. I'm not going to delete you. I'm not going to cancel you because you're not going away. Your sentiment's not going away. How you're speaking is not going away. You're still going to interact with people. Yes, you're going to be called out. You're going to be shamed. I'm going to shame the hell out of you. I'm going to try to make you look stupid sometimes. I'm going to try to speak with you if you're coming with a good tone. But I think pointing them out and pointing out why what you're saying is so ignorant and so removed from other people's experience or not connecting with other people's humanity, I think that does more service to you in your argument than just saying, oh, we're going to say that person goes away. But it is different when you're famous and you've had a history of doing something that has a negative impression only, and you've been told, and you've been through this, and getting your chances. Now, if I'm getting my money and my views, and we're company co-signing that now, I don't always agree with that. But on personal people, personal relationships, I think that's different. I think also, as Aaron was saying, I don't think other people should determine what is not anti-Semitic to a community that's experienced prejudice as well. I think that's a critical point. And but a general cancel culture, I do believe that companies should be making steps towards, embracing certain messages. But I also think that it's all incumbent on all of us to do the work of, shaming those people, because they're not going to go away. They're still going to have their networks. It's a free country. You can still speak whatever you want.
They still have that platform.
But yeah, you're still going to have your platforms, and you're going to find another one if you cancel another one. So, I mean, it's where we put our energy and where we direct it, and what we're indicating we want to support, and making these companies realize it. And that's through the dollar, and that's through the views. And so it's a complex thing, because I think when we say everybody has to be canceled after one thing, it loses its power for what we're doing. You can overdo it, and you can be actually not human in how you're reacting, because you're going to make mistakes. People are not going to know everything. And it's all untoned into the history of somebody's actions, I think, until when you actually should cancel them, or when there's an opportunity to shame or to educate.